Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Raihan Aknyautuan. My study number is A320200154 and I'm from class G. Today I will read and translate chapter 4. So let's begin. The attack. The primitive spirit of his ancestor was strong in Buck, and under the harsh condition of his new life the spirit grew. He had speech more and more, but he didn't want to start a fight. Buck was careful. He did nothing without thinking. Spitz always showed his teeth to Buck. He wanted to start a fight. Buck knew that a fight meant the death of one or the other. One night, the fight almost happened. They stopped at Lake Leperch. It was snowing heavily and the wind was strong and cold. Perrault and Francois made a fire on the ice. Buck made a hole in the snow. It was warm and comfortable. He didn't want to leave it to get his piece of fish. When Buck finished eating the fish, he went back to his hole and found Spitz in it. Buck didn't want to fight with Spitz, but this was too much. He jumped on Spitz with great anger. Spitz was very surprised. He knew Buck was big, but he didn't know he was so wild. Franchise were surprised too. Ah, he cried to Buck. Give it to him! Give it to him! Both dogs wanted to fight. They circled each other and waited for a chance to jump in. Suddenly, Perrault shouted, and they saw about 110 hungry dogs. They came from an Indian village, and they were looking for food. Perrault and Francois hit them with their clubs, but the hungry food showed their teeth and attacked. One dog found the food box, and in a moment 20 dogs ate the bread and the meat. The smell of food made them crazy. The dogs like skeleton, with wild eyes and sharp. 3 of them attacked Buck and bit his head and shoulder. Dave and Soulike fought courageously side by side. Joe attacked the dogs too. Buck bit a dog in the neck and tasted its blood. The taste of blood made him fiercer. He jumped on another dog and then felt it in his own neck. Spitz was attacking him from the side. Perrault and Francois came with clubs to help their dog. The hungry dog ran away, but only for a moment. When 2 men ran back to save their food, the dogs attacked again. The terrible fight continued. Later, 9 team dogs ran away and hid in the forest. They passed the night there. Each dog was hurt in 4 or 5 places, and Joe lost his eye. Early next morning, they slowly walked back to camp. Perrault and Francois were angry. Half of their food was gone and 1 dog ate Perrault's shoe. Francois looked at the poor dog and said, "Ah, my friends, perhaps those bites will make you crazy dogs. What do you think, Perrault?" Perrault said nothing. There were 400 miles between him and Dawson. He hoped his dogs were not crazy. After 2 hours of hard work, and the team started traveling. The next part of the trail was the most difficult. The 30-mile river was not frozen because the water moved too quickly. It took 6 days to travel those terrible 30 miles. They were terrible because every step was dangerous for the dogs and the men. They found 12 ice bridges across the river, and Perrault fell. Through all of them, his long stick saved him. The temperature was 50 Fahrenheit below zero. Each time Perrault fell into the icy water, he built a fire to dry and warm himself. Perrault was not afraid of anything. This is why he was a government courier. He was often in danger. Once, on the slide with Buck and Dave fell through the ice. When Perrault and Francois pulled them out, the river, they were covered with ice. The men built a fire to save the dogs. When they arrived in Hotalinqua, Buck and the other dogs were exhausted. However, they were late and Perrault made them run faster. In 3 days, they traveled 110 miles and reached a place called Five Fingers. Buck's feet were not as hard as the feet of the husky. His feet were still soft because of his comfortable life with the judge. His feet hurt a lot all day. That night at the camp, he lay down like a dead dog. He was hungry, but he could not walk to get his fish. So Francois brought it to him. Every evening after dinner, Francois massaged Buck's feet for half an hour. He made 4 little shoes for Buck. Now Buck was comfortable. One morning, Francois forgot the shoes, and Buck lay on his back with his feet in the air. He didn't want to move without his shoes. Later, his feet grew hard and the shoes were not necessary. Bab 4. Serangan. Semangat primitif nenek moyangnya kuat di Buck, dan di bawah kondisi kehidupan barunya yang keras, semangat ini bertumbuh. Dia semakin membenci Speed, tetapi tidak ingin memulai perkelahian. Buck berhati-hati, dia tidak melakukan apapun tanpa berpikir. Speed selalu menunjukkan giginya pada Buck. Dia ingin memulai perkelahian. Buck tahu bahwa perkelahian berarti kematian salah satu dari mereka. Suatu malam pertarungan hampir terjadi. Mereka berhenti di Danau Laberge. Saat itu turun salju dengan lebat dan angin bertiup kencang dan dingin. Perrault dan Francois membuat api di atas es. Buck membuat lubang di salju, itu hangat dan nyaman. Dia tidak ingin meninggalkannya untuk mendapatkan potongan ikannya. Ketika Buck selesai makan ikan itu, dia kembali ke lubangnya dan menemukan Speed di dalamnya. Buck tidak ingin bertarung dengan Speed, tapi ini keterlaluan. Dia menyerang Speed dengan amarah yang besar. Speed sangat terkejut. Dia tahu Buck besar, tapi dia tidak tahu dia begitu liar. Francois juga terkejut. Dia menangis pada Buck. Berikan padanya. Kedua anjing itu ingin berkelahi. Mereka mengitari satu sama lain dan menunggu kesempatan untuk melompat. Tiba-tiba Perrault berteriak dan melihat sekitar 100 anjing kurus lapar. Mereka berasal dari sebuah desa di India dan mereka sedang mencari makanan. Perrault dan Francois memukul mereka dengan pentungan, tetapi anjing-anjing lapar itu memperlihatkan gigi mereka dan menyerang. Seekor anjing menemukan kotak makanan dalam sekejap. 20 anjing memakan roti dan dagingnya. Aroma makanan membuat mereka gila. Anjing-anjing itu tampak seperti kerangka dengan mata liar dan taring yang tajam. 3 dari mereka menyerang Buck dan menggigit kepala dan baunya. Dave dan Solek bertarung dengan berani berdampingan. Joe menyerang anjing-anjing itu juga. Buck menggigit leher anjing dan mencicipi darahnya. Rasa dari darah serangan membuatnya semakin ganas. Dia melompat ke atas anjing lain dan kemudian merasakan gigi di lehernya sendiri. Speed menyerangnya dari samping. Perrault dan Francois datang dengan klub untuk membantu anjing mereka. Anjing-anjing yang lapar itu lari, tetapi hanya sesaat. Ketika kedua pria itu lari kembali untuk menyelamatkan makanan mereka, anjing-anjing itu menyerang lagi. Pertarungan yang mengerikan terus berlanjut. Kemudian kesembilan anjing melarikan diri dan bersembunyi di dalam hutan. Mereka melewatkan malam di sana. Setiap anjing terluka di 4 atau 5 tempat, dan Joe kehilangan matanya. Keesokan paginya, mereka perlahan-lahan berjalan kembali ke camp. Perrault dan Francois marah. Separuh makanan mereka habis dan seekor anjing memakan sepatu Perrault. Francois memandangi anjing-anjing malang itu dan berkata, teman-teman, mungkin gigitan itu akan membuatmu menjadi anjing gila. Bagaimana menurutmu, Perrault? Perrault tidak mengatakan apa-apa. Ada jarak 400 mil di antara dia dan Dawson. Dia berharap anjingnya tidak gila. Setelah 2 jam kerja keras, mereka mulai melakukan perjalanan. Bagian selanjutnya dari jalan setapak adalah yang tersulit. Sungai Tertimil tidak membeku karena airnya bergerak terlalu cepat. Butuh 6 hari untuk menempuh jarak 30 mil yang mengerikan itu. Mereka mengerikan karena setiap langkah berbahaya bagi anjing dan manusia. Mereka menemukan 12 jembatan es di seberang sungai, dan Perrault jatuh. Tokat panjangnya menyelamatkannya. Suhunya 50 derajat Fahrenheit di bawah nol. Setiap kali Perrault jatuh ke air sedingin es, dia menyalakan api untuk mengeringkan dan menghangatkan dirinya sendiri. Perrault tidak takut pada apapun. Inilah mengapa dia menjadi pekerja di pemerintah. Dia sering berada dalam bahaya. Suatu ketika, kereta luncur dengan Buck dan Dave jatuh dari es. Ketika Perrault dan Frances menarik mereka keluar dari sungai, mereka tertutup oleh es. Orang-orang yang menyalakan api itu menyelamatkan anjing-anjing itu. Ketika mereka tiba di Hotalinqua, Buck dan anjing lainnya kelelahan. Namun, mereka terlambat dan Perrault membuat mereka berlari lebih cepat. Dalam 3 hari, mereka melakukan perjalanan 110 mil dan mencapai tempat yang disebut Five Finger. Kaki Buck tidak sekeras kaki para husky. Kakinya masih empuk karena kenyamanan hidupnya dengan sang hakim. Kakinya sangat sakit sepanjang hari. Malam itu, di camp dia berbaring seperti anjing yang mati. Dia lapar, tetapi dia tidak bisa berjalan untuk mengambil ikannya. Jadi Frances membawanya ke dia. Setiap malam setelah makan malam, Frances memijat kaki Buck selama setengah jam. Dia membuat 4 sepatu kecil untuk Buck. Sekarang, Buck lebih nyaman. Suatu pagi, Frances lupa sepatu dan Buck berbaring telentang dengan kaki di udara. Dia tidak mau bergerak tanpa sepatunya. Kemudian kakinya menjadi keras dan sepatunya tidak diperlukan.